think it was like MW2.
Okay.
Like COD.
Yeah.
Like, had the soldier and the writing's green and the whole sandstorm style.
Yeah.
That was my theme.
Gotcha.
But then people thought it was Starbucks.
What's up, all you auto enthusiasts out there? Buckle up for a unique experience where we have custom vehicles and their owners share the spotlight in our studio. Have you ever seen a cool ride and wondered who the owner is or what the history is behind the build? On today's episode of Tailpipe Talk, we'll be speaking with Migi, who goes by Migi.Ghost on Instagram. Make sure to look him up. We'll get to know more about Migi and what inspired him to build his 2012 SS Camaro. Migi, what's going on, man?
What's up?
How you doing?
Thanks for having me.
Doing all right? Good seeing you. Thanks for finally making it out. My fault, of course, my fault. We had a couple reschedules, so glad you're here. So before we get started about the Camaro, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, my name is Migi.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own company, my own landscaping company.
It's all good. There's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer.
I'm just a guy having fun.
Yeah.
Doing my own thing, building my car.
There you
having
go.
fun with it.
There you go. Well, let's elaborate on your landscaping service. So what areas do you cover?
I do pretty much anything. Anything that, we do blowing, edging, cutting. Today we're doing concrete removal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like
Okay.
big stuff, bushes,
Gotcha.
Whatever.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So, I'm in real estate. We flip houses, do property management, so I might be calling on you. So do you have a page for that?
Yes, I do actually.
What's the page for your landscaping service?
Migi.landscape.
Oh, just like your personal page.
Yeah.
Migi.Ghost. Gotcha.
Yeah. Super easy, yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So what areas do you cover for the landscaping?
Areas I cover throughout DFW.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you travel all over.
Euless, Irving,
Okay. I got
Fort
you.
Worth,
Very cool. Very
Dallas, all over.
cool. All right. All right. And girlfriend?
Girlfriend, yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate on that? He's like, yes.
Her name's Ruby.
Okay.
She stays in Houston, but she's always helped. She's always been like my backbone with this car.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Every car guy needs a car girl, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Well, you brought this car in, 2012 SS Camaro. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. I like all the personal touches. I like the green. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the build, what's been done to it, and all that good stuff?
Okay. Well, it's a 2012 Chevy Camaro
Yep.
SS. It's a 6-speed manual. So it's a 5th gen Camaro. It has a 6th gen conversion to it, 6th gen ZL1 conversion to it. We're on air ride. Has the Ferrata FR4 wheels, and then everything else. You know what I mean? We got Braun racing harnesses, starlights. Full show car.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Have you done any racing with it?
We do a little stuff on the highway and stuff.
Yeah.
We do digs sometimes, just to see where it's at. You
Yeah.
know, but nothing like racing. So.
Gotcha. How long have you had it?
I've had it for 2 years.
2 years. Okay. Did you buy it with modified already,
No, I
or
bought
did
it
bone stock?
bone stock.
Oh, you've done a lot in 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. What was the first mod you did to it?
You want the real mod or like the
He's like, I tinted the windows, people.
So the first mod when I got it from the dealership and I brought it home, the first mod was I put LED lights in it.
Okay.
And I was like, why not?
Nothing wrong with that. I think the lights is a nice touch.
Yeah.
So.
But when I tell people my first mod, it's bags.
Yeah.
I still had paper plates on it when I bagged it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So people thought I bought the Camaro bagged.
Wow.
But it was bone stock, and then I bagged it, and it still had paper plates.
And I gotta say, there's not too many bagged Camaros around, right? It's not very common.
No, not with American Muscle, no.
Yeah. It's got a good look to it. So you bagged it, and then tell us about the build, like how it got to this stage here.
How I got to this stage? Okay. So I don't know if you remember my old car, my Genesis.
Yes. Yes.
So my Genesis was half wrapped. It was camo and all that.
Yeah.
And I was going to a big show for Slam.
Yep.
Well, I wrecked it. Someone cut me off on 30, going 40. They're on going 40 on like, and we're all going 70,
Yep.
80, and I crashed it. So I built this car, like you said, it was very fast
Yeah.
in 2 years
Yeah.
to get it ready for the next show for Slammed Enough. Because that was the show I
Gotcha.
missed. I missed that show in a week from that wreck.
Gotcha.
So I was building it, and then, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so now it's 2 years.
Right.
But, this show's coming up in August. So, the car's, I was crunching time to get it ready for the show that I missed 2 years ago with my old car.
Oh, wow. Wow. So you did a lot. So a lot of the work that's been done was done 2 years ago, and then you've done just subtle things to it?
No, it's, the whole...
Oh, the whole time?
The whole time we've been building it, since...
Gotcha.
Since the
Gotcha.
show, yeah.
And then, I forget. What was the color before? Tell me the color before. It was like a chameleon or something? Like,
No,
didn't
it was a Sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
That tan kind of...
Yes,
yeah,
that's
like
right.
Caramel
That's
looking.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And then this is black cherry?
Black cherry.
Black cherry. All right. Very cool. Very cool. What are your future mods for it?
So we have all the cosmetics that I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Interior's all kind of done up the way I like it.
Yeah.
So now we're starting to work on the motor now.
Yeah.
But that's where big money starts coming in.
Oh
so.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's big money in cosmetics too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, air ride, the wheels, like the body, like it's. You got a lot of time and money invested into it for sure. What are your plans for the motors?
For the
Motor upgrade.
So right now we're debating on. Well, it depends on the tuner. If I can find the right tuner for the car, we're looking at camming it. Probably a
Okay.
stage 3 Texas speed, a very common cam that
Okay.
most people go with.
Yeah.
It's a good cam because
Yeah.
I still drive it around.
Right.
Drive it around. Or we're looking at pro charging it. Probably
Okay.
by Vortec.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But it just kind of depends on, price range and then power range. If I really want to go,
Yeah.
because the cam will probably put me at like 550-ish to the
Right.
wheels, but then the pro charger will probably put me up around 610. So it just
Not
kind of depends
bad.
on,
Yeah.
what I want to go for,
Yeah. Trying to think what else. You got the Brembo brakes. Do they come on the car?
Yes, the
They do?
V8s do, yes.
Okay. Something I didn't know. Learn something new every day. So you did the air ride. You got the wheels. What kind of exhaust you running?
So we're running long tube headers,
Okay.
and then we're running H pipe, and then we're running, I think it's 2 3/4 pipe all the way back.
Okay.
No mufflers, no resonators, it's just...
Oh, straight pipe.
Yeah,
Sounds
pretty
good.
much, yeah.
Sounds good. Let's talk about the green accent lights and the accessorizing of the green there.
Oh, the green, okay.
Yeah. So how did that come about?
So it's funny, like I was never a big fan of green.
Okay.
Like I was never like, green's cool,
Yeah.
but it's so bright. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like, you see the green Challengers and Chargers.
Right.
They stand out.
Right.
Like the Hellcats, you
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah.
Well, when I had my car, it was a Sandstorm with like a tannish
Right.
color, and I did green brakes with it because I was thinking about I think it was like MW2,
Okay.
like COD.
Yeah.
Like had the soldier and the writing's green and the whole Sandstorm style.
Yeah.
That was my theme.
Gotcha.
But then people thought it was Starbucks for some reason. Like the theme of my car was Starbucks.
What?
And I was like, oh. And then, so I took that tan off. I got
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
green, I still had the green brakes.
Right.
And I was like, well, I guess we're gonna keep green as an accent.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then I did this black cherry, and I don't know. It kind of reminds me of what's that? Poison Ivy, that character from Batman.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of the theme I was kind of going for,
Okay.
like her idea. Like she was purple, but she was like,
Yeah.
the purple roses and stuff.
Right,
but
right.
she's green and all that.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of aim for that green because it really
That's
stands
pretty
out.
cool.
And I haven't seen someone do this color combo at least.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely stands out. And then you have the green seatbelts in there too,
Yeah,
right?
green brown
accents.
Yeah.
That's very cool, man. Very cool.
Green emblems, green tank. If we open up the trunk, you'll see a green painted
Oh, really?
tank. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. We got to get a shot of that for sure. Yeah, we'll have you open it up and we'll get some video, all that good stuff. Well, so we've talked about your car a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the car scene. We touched base on that before we started rolling. So, I know you're heavy into the car shows and stuff like that. We talked about going to car meets a little bit. What would you say one of your favorite shows is?
Favorite shows? It'd probably be Slammed Enough. Slammed Enough is
Okay.
probably one of the big shows I've been to.
Yeah.
Slammed Enough and Race Wars.
Okay.
And they're probably one of my favorite shows. Just the whole vibe.
Yeah.
Just, the booths are there, the models, the cars.
Yeah.
Just a good, it's a good vibe.
Okay. And Slammed Enough, if I remember, tell me more about that show. Is that been local?
No.
That's usually in Houston, right?
Usually
if I'm not mistaken.
Austin.
Oh, Austin. Okay.
They do have them. I think there was one in Dallas at one time. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I know all the ones that I've seen and
Yeah.
been to have been in Austin.
Okay. So you drive a pretty good ways to go to a show.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And then you said the other one was Race Wars?
Race Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
That's local in Ennis.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Slammed Enough is indoors, right?
Yes.
It's just more of a show?
Yeah, with
Okay.
the lights and everything, the
Gotcha.
booths. Yeah, it's all inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no racing like Race Wars. There's no racing.
Yeah,
or...
it's just real, just chill.
Gotcha.
Look, But Race
cool.
Wars, yeah, you can actually start running your car on the track. and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Did you go to this last Race Wars?
Yes, I did.
Did you? Okay.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was super hot.
Yeah. We went out there. We didn't stay very long because the heat will get to you.
Oh,
after,
yeah.
After,
Like,
pretty
it gets
quick.
humid. It gets humid
Yeah,
now. Like, it just,
yeah.
ugh. You feel all sticky and stuff.
Right?
Hate it, yeah.
That is for sure. Well, talking about the car scene, do you take it out to car meets a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not just, a car show car. I take it to car meets. I drive
absolutely.
it.
That's cool.
know.
That's cool. What are some of your favorite car meets that you've been to?
There's a lot.
It is a lot.
A lot.
It's a lot.
Probably one that stuck to me, what kept me in the car scene,
Yeah.
it's an old meet. It was called, I think it was called Sushi Street.
Oh,
Do you
the
remember
one
that?
over in Irving
Yes.
in the 4 or 5
Yeah,
story
yeah.
garage.
They had it for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
And then they changed the name to like Steak and Race or whatever.
And then they moved locations actually.
And
Yeah.
then it kind of just fell off.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest meets because they gave me that Tokyo Drift like whole.
In the garage.
Yeah, you're in the garage. Everyone's
Yeah.
parked, but
Yeah.
it wasn't crazy. It was just real chill, and it
Right.
was just like I feel like that's what really set me in the car scene.
Yeah.
But
I remember that. I'd been out to that a few times.
That's old. That's
yeah, it
old.
is old. We're talking 3-4 years,
years ago.
probably.
Yeah. So a lot of people now they don't even know what that is.
No,
like
not
Sushi
at all.
Street.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Anybody getting in the scene here in the last year would have no idea what that is.
They're like, what's that?
But a lot of meets have come and gone. Do you remember Endless Car Movement? ECM?
Yes.
So ECM, Texas Concepts out in Fort Worth ran for a long time.
Did they finally shut down? or
Oh
they-
yeah, they've been shut down for over a year. I'm trying to think.
Did you hear about Import Faction?
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, it's in Euless. It's at a park.
Well, no, I have heard about the meet. We do promote it.
Yeah.
Has anything happened with that?
They actually shut it down.
They did?
Yeah, they're no longer having Import Faction anymore.
That was another good one.
That was one of the biggest ones. Yeah, locally. Yeah.
Man, we didn't hear about that. What happened with that? Do you know?
They told me I didn't get to go because I was at the show. They said that people were like revving or burning out or
Oh,
something
really?
like that. You know what I mean? All the stuff that happens, and then the host said he couldn't have it anymore because he got complaints from the cops and all that. You know how it goes.
Just the unfortunate part of like trying to host meets. It's always like a
There's always
handful.
somebody out.
It's
there
always
messing up.
it is always somebody. I mean, that is like honestly, we should make a T-shirt that says it's always somebody. Revving, burning out. Like, I mean, don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Like, it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. We touched base on the takeovers and stuff, and I think you and I definitely have mutual feelings about that.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a bad situation for everybody.
And see, like the takeovers, like I don't like burning out doing donuts. I mean, we all love doing that.
Absolutely.
Like I mean, that's what our cars
Absolutely.
can do it. Yeah.
Yep.
But there's always a time and place for everything.
I agree.
And I just feel like the place and time they do it. I mean, like in Cali, I hear people doing it all the time.
Yeah.
But my friend's from he's from Inglewood, and he
Okay.
told me that they do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing.
Yep.
But he said they don't usually hit people or injure people, not as much as he heard in Texas.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's just kind of like
Yeah.
when you're starting to hurt people and all that, it's just kind of like, that's not what the car scene is. You know what I mean?
So, and this is something if anybody's watched any of our episodes before, this is a conversation, a topic that comes up all the time, the takeovers. And like you said, I'm a big believer in burnouts and donuts, and I like to, pitch my car sideways. I enjoy it.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
But to do that in an intersection or on a highway, or have people out there with their cameras and getting hit and run over, like it's just
not worth it.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's so stupid. Now, if anybody's been into cars, any time period, they've probably done a burnout or have wanted to do a burnout or watched a burnout and felt it was exciting, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, it's America, we're going to do a burnout. It's America.
Yeah.
And so, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, it's the intersections. It's impeding traffic. You got people trying to get home, go to work, whatever.
You got ambulances trying to get through. Come on.
So, like you said, there's a time, there's a place, and I'm not saying, hey, go pick another location, but there are some deserted areas where you guys
can do it in a parking lot.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Why do it in an intersection or a highway? I don't understand that.
Even the parking lots, it's when I say deserted, I'm thinking like a cul-de-sac somewhere in an industrial area, because you have to keep it out of people's view, right?
Yeah.
Because if you start doing it in a public area, and we see the videos, I mean, it's in all of our feeds, people whipping donuts in a parking lot, right?
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's a car guy. And then all of a sudden everybody gets a bad rap.
We all get blamed.
Yeah, everybody gets blamed, And the way the officers feel about it, it's like everybody's exactly the same. You're a car guy and you're a car guy. Well, if you're whipping donuts, you're the same. It's not.
No, we're completely different breeds.
Absolutely.
Completely.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people that just want to go somewhere and chill.
Yeah.
Just chill. Talk about their car, pop the hood, enjoy each other's, company, and just, check out some cool rides. One thing I think, and again, we touched base on this before we started rolling, is cities could step in and help.
They could.
They could step in and help. And I'm not saying about the police enforcing all the, takeover stuff and making arrests, but, just like they built skate parks, a lot of cities built skate parks for skaters because there was a need. They didn't want them in their shopping centers or, skateboarding everywhere else. So they made skate parks. They charge an admission. They go, they skate. There's certain hours. Why couldn't cities adopt a piece of land, work with businesses, schools, colleges? There's plenty of place, these industrial areas. There's plenty of businesses that are closed in the evening time. Mm-hmm. You could charge a fee, cover the cost of any police officers that are there.
Exactly.
Have somebody run it, make it legitimate, or just get a piece of land. I guarantee you, most cities have some land that they can't really build on because of zoning issues, like an actual structure.
Yeah.
But you could pour a blacktop and just have an empty parking lot. I mean, if you really wanted to help, it can be done. It can be done, And I think, take for instance, stadiums, right? Like those parking lots, they're huge. Yeah. So if you schedule it right, there's space. You could have people taking money as they come in. I'm sorry, I'd be happy to pay $5 to sit somewhere for 3 hours and know that nobody was going to be revving or burning out or doing something stupid.
No damage to your vehicle.
No
That's
damage
what most
to your
people are
vehicles.
scared of,
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's it's an interesting thing. I don't think police officers and police in general are going to take the takeovers lightly. I don't think they have, but they do have an uphill battle.
They do.
Like getting into those places sometimes, and they're outnumbered 100 to 1, maybe more, because these takeovers are pretty big sometimes.
They're huge.
Yeah, and that's hard to infiltrate. So. And we've seen videos, I know you have, like cops getting, their vehicles vandalized if they're the only ones there. What are they going to do, get out?
Dallas made it real, burning down police cars. Dallas made that real
Yeah,
Real
it's serious.
distinct, yeah.
It's serious. But man, what's the next show you're preparing for?
Slammed enough.
Okay.
The show that
okay.
I've been trying to get ready for.
Oh, so it's coming up again.
Coming up.
Okay.
August 22nd.
In Austin?
In Austin.
Austin?
Yes.
August 22nd. Okay. We'll have to put that on the radar. I'm not sure if we've been promoting that one yet or not.
It's going to be big.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So it's been, what, 2 years since you've been to that one? Or a little over?
Enough. It's been well, I went last year.
Oh, you were able to make it last year?
I was able to make it last year, yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, I made it the last time they had it. Because they didn't have it last year.
They didn't have it last year. That's right. So you made it the last time they had it.
Yes.
Makes sense, yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of events got shut down last year, obviously.
COVID,
yeah.
But
So,
finally, COVID's like lighting up finally,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of the masks, and I know not everybody agrees, and you can leave your comments below. I appreciate it. But, you know, everybody has their views on the masks and the COVID thing and all that stuff, but I told myself I wasn't even going to entertain the idea of bringing Slam back if people had to wear masks. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's just...
You know no one's going to wear it.
Yeah, but if it was... You're right. Even when even some of the events that we had gone to where they said you have to wear a mask, you're absolutely right. 90% of the people were not wearing masks.
Exactly.
But I think having to post that you have to wear a mask, it's just not something that I ever wanted to put on a flyer, have to advertise. And you're right, most people would show up and not wear one anyway, but I just didn't want that to ever be even a concern, you know. And I think it also makes people like, ooh, I got to wear a mask. I'm not going to go.
Exactly. It's just kind of like, oh.
Yeah. So slammed enough in August. Are you going to any events? Before that?
Before that.
Any shows?
I don't think there's any big shows coming up.
Yeah.
There might be meets and stuff I'll be at, you know what I mean, locally.
Yeah.
But there's no big shows other than Slam because we just had Import Expo.
Yeah.
Texas
How was
Motor
that?
Speedway.
How was that?
It was, you know what? It's a lot different than I thought it was going to be. It was
Well, tell me about
small.
it because we were going to go, last minute changes. So you said it was small?
It was small.
Really?
So you remember when you had it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we had like, everything was filled, right?
Yeah.
No, we had one lot, and it was like maybe 4 or 5 rows of cars. That's it.
What?
That's it. And I'm talking about those rows were like maybe 20 cars each. That's not a lot of cars though for a show.
I had no idea.
It was real small. But it was great though because they had a drift event.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that. I saw the videos.
People were like getting to ride along with the drifters and stuff. But it was real small for a show that I thought, you know, for Texas Motor Speedway, I thought it would be huge.
Well, I mean, it's the largest venue, like at least in DFW.
Yeah.
So it's costly. You definitely want to fill that place to get, you know, a return on your investment. So
these cars could fill in the Target parking lot. Like it was not very many of them.
Okay. Well, you know, I guess it was pretty much their first one, and I know they partnered up with Parked Up out of. I think he's in Houston.
Is he in Houston?
I think so. Houston or Austin, somewhere
he's in
down
a big
south.
city. Yeah, he's in a big city.
He's down south somewhere, and he was doing a great job himself. Like he was hosting some pretty big events down there. But same thing, people came along, and I mean, man, you want to talk about burnouts, and it just got all out of control. So I don't know that he's been doing a lot himself, but he partnered with Import Expo. But I was kind of anticipating a bigger turnout too.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, the hype behind it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was small.
Interesting. And so, out of the drifting and stuff, were you able to take people? Were people able to take their own cars?
Yeah. So
on the drifting. Okay.
People could
On
take
the
their
drift
own
course.
cars.
Okay.
If they wanted to, but then I think they had they weren't professional drifters, but there were guys. I mean, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They weren't just like hitting it. I mean, you could see they actually knew what they were doing because they were going around cones.
Yeah, I did see some of the videos. I thought they did very well for what I saw. You know?
For some, you know what I mean? Like, if I went out there, I'd hit every single cone, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, these guys knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
that's cool.
They had some type of experience, at least.
Yeah. So they had the drifting. They had the car show because there was awards, right?
Yes.
And then what else did they offer? Was there any other entertainment or?
You can buy hot dogs.
Okay.
That's all.
That was it?
All the booths were all the booths. They weren't booths. Like there was no
vendors?
No vendors or nothing. Even Import Expo, they didn't have like they had their tent.
Yeah.
But they were not selling merch or anything. It was just they were just a tent.
Interesting.
And then all the teams, I don't know if you know, like the teams,
Yeah.
like, they usually sell merch as
Right.
well. A lot of the big teams didn't show up. And then the teams that were there, they didn't sell any merch either. So it was a real just, low key.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Interesting. Oh.
I was surprised. Like on the whole event, I was kind of just surprised. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger. But I had a good time.
Yeah, and that's in the end, that's all that matters. It's like showing up to a place and there's only 2 people. You're gonna make the best of it, right? I mean, it's just it is what it is. As far as the event, especially across our feed, we just saw so many people posting about it and having the banner and Import Expo, and I mean, to only have that few of cars, that's surprising.
Yeah, we were surprised.
You think the time had something to do with it? Because 6 p.m. to midnight seems
yes, a lot of people
late,
complained about it. Yeah,
okay.
It was late. I mean, we didn't leave until midnight.
Okay.
Because think about it. So they were giving out awards around 11. But think about it.
That's pretty late.
And then the people who came to see the cars, they had to leave.
Yeah.
And the cars had to leave.
Yeah.
We had to leave out in an order.
Right.
Because think about it,
Right.
we're all
Sure.
parked in a way. We all have to leave a certain way. We can't just go. So I mean, I left around like 12:30ish.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, there's always room for improvement. Even when we did Slam 2 years in a row, man, like it's always a learning curve. Everybody putting on an event, you learn from it, you try and make it better. And I even think Parked Up had posted about it. They've got room to grow and expand and put on a better event. So that's cool. It's good. It's good you had a good time though. Did you win anything?
Sounds bad. Sit there and drink.
Well, there you go. You had a good time drinking, I guess.
So.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. So, Import Expo. You went to Hot Import Nights, right?
Yes.
Saw you there, and then you went to Race Wars. That was a busy weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was back to back.
Yeah,
it was
back
Hot
to
Import
back.
Night on Saturday,
and then Race Wars on Sunday. Yeah.
Man, that was hard.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean, like I think so it was Hot Import Night all day. I think it was like 3 to 12. It was late. It was late. I remember it was a late show. And then Race Wars was same thing.
Right.
So exhausted.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that again.
The tough ones, because I don't think I had ever brought a vehicle into Hot Import Nights, but we have set up a booth there before, and bringing in the cars in, they started at 11. The show starts at 2, I think, right?
Yeah, they bring us
so
in early,
3 hours of setup, all that stuff. So if you're rolling in, the parking lot's pretty crowded by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. That is like an all-day thing, because if you bring a car in, you ain't leaving.
You ain't leaving, no.
You're not leaving until basically the doors open, 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
So
because you're not allowed to leave technically. Yeah.
No, you can't. There's no way you can leave. But those indoor shows, it must be tough on the people bringing their cars, because they're stuck there all day.
Yeah, and then you can't drive anywhere.
Yeah.
Your car's in the show.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were doing DoorDash and Ubering.
Having pizzas delivered and stuff. Yeah.
Like people who were coming to the show, I was calling them like, hey, can you go bring me some Pizza Hut or something? You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Because food there is expensive. To buy it there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it seemed like everybody was having a really good time at Hot Import Nights,
Well,
or
you
even
were there
Race
too,
Wars.
though, weren't you?
Yeah,
Your
I
truck
was
was
there.
there
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything, right?
That was the first time I had taken the truck, and I'm like, it's exposure. I'm not setting up anything. I'm not selling anything. And I don't know if you know the story about the truck, but it was after Slam 2018. So I was the first one in the burnout pits for Slam 2018, just to get the hype going. Let's
Doing
just
the burnouts. Yeah, I remember that.
Absolutely, just having a good time. And so that was 2018, and I think the first week of June is National Donut Day, right? So I
remember this exactly.
I left Slam, had done burnouts, went to go record this whole National Donut Day video, which was awesome.
Because you had the little donut inflatables, right?
Yeah,
In the back of the
yeah,
bed?
yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
And I ended up leaving that shoot, and it's early on a Sunday. And I remember one of the photographers that was with us that day, he's like, hey, I got to drive up to Denton. And we were somewhere in Dallas. And he's like, hey, I just got my Honda back on the road. It's got bald tires. I'm like, cool. I'll just roll in front of you, and I'll get you up to George Bush. And then on the rest of the way, just drive safe.
Yeah.
So we were doing like 55 and a 70, right, on 35.
We're going slow, yeah.
Slow, like everything. And I mean, we're not even talking like heavy rain. Yeah. We're talking like just drizzling. And I had my youngest son with me in the car, and we're just in the slow lane, just cruising, not acting a fool, nothing. And, you know, people say that stuff about like hydroplaning. And I'm like, you just don't know how to drive your vehicle. Nah, that shit is real. That shit is real. Because having autocrossed it, road course, having pitched that thing sideways 1,000,000 times, there was nothing I could do. I tried to autocorrect. That thing spun around. The ass went into the concrete wall, bent the frame. But bringing it to Hot Import Nights, it was kind of like the very first almost unveiling of
I'm back.
The new look, I guess, you know. It'd been around for a little while. I post on my Instagram here and there, but the whole fender flares, the wheels, the tires, I had just changed it to a manual.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So, you know, that truck evolves constantly. There's more changes going into it. Yeah, taking it to Hot Import Nights was kind of a cool experience. People would walk up to you like, dude, it's a 6-speed. That's crazy. And a big truck.
Yeah, a truck, yeah.
You know.
Mostly, it's a crew cab, right?
It's crew cab.
Yeah, see, that's
4-door. I like to give people rides, man. Enjoy the experience. You know, I joke because I'm never going to be competitive in autocross. It's too big. It's, you know, the wheelbase is too long. But I would be happy, like, grab a helmet, jump in the back. I've raced it 5 deep. I don't care. I'm not gonna get any like amazing times in it, but people always cheer. People always give thumbs up. It's something different. And you know, the people who do race there, they're like, man, he's in the middle of the pack. He's not like down on the bottom. Like he's in the middle the way he handles that truck. So it's fun. It's fun. As long as you're having fun,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters, you know? So, but yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. A lot of great shows, a lot of great events. And I think the best part about it is just the people that you meet, right? It's just
you meet a lot of different characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I met a lot of different people.
What would you say the funniest, and you don't have to mention names, but the funniest character or funniest situation you've been where you met somebody at a show?
Okay, so I meet a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You know, people know me from Instagram. I don't know who they are.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
like, hey, bro, I followed you since then. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
You remember me from this show? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You know, I say, yeah, but I don't. Well, okay. This one guy was like, bro, I feel so bad. I know he's going to watch this too.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So he sees me. He's like, hey, what's up, Migi? I was like, what's up? He's like, you remember me? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what's my name? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, we have the same name.
Oh, man.
I was like, he's like, it's Miguel. And I was like, I felt like crap. Like, I was like, so now when I see him, I'm like, it's Miguel.
You won't forget.
Nah, I don't forget.
But he made, like, in a roundabout way, like, now you know
he embedded
who he is. He embedded that into you, like, for sure.
I felt so bad. Because I'm like, out of all the names, you know what I mean?
And, you know, here's the thing, and we've all heard the saying, like, we were not going to remember a car guy's name, but we're going to remember their car, right?
Yes.
So it's funny. You are absolutely correct, because we're prominent on social media, and we post a lot. People see your car. They correlate you to the car. You get a following, right? So people do come up to you, me, and like, hey, man, how you doing? I've been following your page. I'm like, oh, you know, do you remember me from? I'm like, yeah. And you know, on it, you just have to roll with it, because at the end of the day, that person coming up to you, and it would kind of be like if you followed somebody on social media because you liked their ride, you would know who they are when you walked up to them. right?
Exactly.
And it's really hard for myself, anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. It's hard for us to remember
There's
every
so many
single
people.
person that you meet. And I will carry on full-blown conversations with people. And I mean, I hate to say it, and I'm going on record, but I'll talk to anybody, but I'm terrible at remembering people's names or where I met you from, or there's just no way.
It's hard. I mean, there's so many events.
It's
There's so
impossible.
many people.
Yep.
I mean, I'm in the same boat. I understand.
It's impossible.
But you know, like those people, like, I don't know, they helped me build my car. Like,
Yeah.
just because, you know, I don't know these people. You know,
Yeah.
these are other, you know, just followers. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And they, you know, give me so much support. Like, they come up to me and say, hey, like, I love your build. Like,
Yeah.
those people are like the ones that are helping build this build.
They
you know?
drive you.
Yeah.
They absolutely, there's anybody that can offer support in a like, a follow, a share, a comment, you know, it really means a lot. And it just helps us, keeps us motivated almost.
It's a good feeling. No,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
like,
absolutely. Everybody wants to get praised for their build, right? I mean,
you put all that money and time into
absolutely.
it.
Get a pat on the back, man, that looks cool. So, do you remember where we first met?
Man, I was gonna ask you that question.
Were you?
Yeah. Don't put me on the spotlight like that. Do you?
Man, I don't.
So I remember.
I don't, but I know it's been 3 or 4 years, I would say.
So, okay. I remember the first time we met. I don't remember the event.
Okay.
So I have a 92 S10.
Okay.
I had Danes on it.
Okay.
You complimented me on it. You were like, oh, I really like that S10. You have Danes. I don't remember what show. It was a long time ago. And I haven't had Danes on my S10 in a long time. Because I got vet wheels now.
Yeah.
But it was a long time. But then I remember, like, the actual time we actually talked and met.
Yeah.
It was at it was one of the cruises. It's when I had my Genesis.
Okay.
And I think it was like one of the last cruises you had. Like probably the second to last.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's when we met.
Yeah.
But I do remember we met, but we didn't, like, the first time was with my truck.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, hey, what's up?
We
like,
chatted.
We were just like, oh, I like that. Oh, thank you.
Absolutely.
And that's all it was. I remember that, but I don't remember what event it was.
Yeah. I find myself, because I go to events and I don't always want to feel like it's a job to be at an event, you know, so I'll chat with people a short time. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And then kind of like, you know, move on and not maybe sit there with somebody for like 30, 40, 50 minutes talking to one person.
Like that. You start talking for like 40 minutes and I'm like, dang, like time flies, you know?
Yeah.
Start making a line, you know?
Right?
Like,
hey, can you get a number over there? Just pull a number, get in line. Yeah, well, the people are great, man. It's good to have the support of, you know, fellow enthusiasts. That's for sure. It's awesome. It's a good feeling. Well, we've talked about the car scene. We've talked about the Camaro. Let's talk a little bit more about you. So,
it's gonna be interesting.
Your passion for cars. Where did it come from?
So it came from my grandpa.
Okay.
So my grandpa, this is what got me started in cars, like from day one.
Yeah.
So was I 16? I was 15 or 16.
Okay.
I had my permit, so I was 15. And my grandpa, he was my biggest role model. He had the 92 S10, bone stock and everything, but like just because it was an old Chevy, you know, the 92.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, and I told him, he told me, he said, hey, we're gonna build this truck together, and we're gonna get it the way that you want it, you know. And he gave it to me, you know, as my first car. Well, he passed away a couple months later. And like, I don't know, I was devastated.
Yeah.
It killed me. Like, I was like, this is the last thing he gave me was his car. And I don't know, I had a little bit of grief to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, last time I saw you was because you gave me your truck. It wasn't like because I was hanging out with you, you know what I mean?
Right.
I felt bad. But I was like, all right, this is my goal because our plan was to build it together.
Right.
He passed away.
Yeah.
And you know, he can't be here. So I was like, let me build my S10. You know, and I built my S10. It's dropped and everything. Had like a 5.7 drop. Had vet wheels. Had like, you know, a C-notch. You know, just little stuff, you know. And it kind of like, from there, it evolved to getting my Genesis, my Camaro. But I've always had a love for like old Chevys. You know what I mean? Because I had an old Chevy S10.
Yeah.
So that's where it started from.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool, man. Sorry to hear about your grandfather, man. That's tough. That's tough. You still have the S10 now,
Yeah,
right?
I still have it. Yeah,
Okay,
I use
cool.
it for my landscaping actually.
That's amazing, dude. That's amazing. Do you plan on doing anything else to the S10?
So the main goal was to bag it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's been notched.
Yeah.
It's prepped to bag.
Okay.
It's been all like, we cut all the fenders out from the inner fender, so like it's prepped to bag.
Okay.
But then I started my own company, landscaping.
Right.
So I was like, well, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather invest my money into my company
Yeah.
than to bag it. But the goal is to bag it in the future. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's a solid truck, though, so.
Well, good. And 92 is second to the last year of the Square? Or is it 93?
93 is the last.
93, okay.
So 92
So
is.
I'm kind of a Chevy buff myself. My first car was a 70 Chevelle. I love the Square S10s, like one of my favorite
You
body
don't see them
styles.
anymore.
You don't. One of my favorites has got to be your body style, the extended cab, white, lowered, 4.3 liter.
That's what I got,
Like,
yeah.
like all the options. That to me, that would be a super cool truck, you know. But you're right, super hard to find, or they're trashed,
all beat up
they're
or
beat
anything.
up.
Yeah, like.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, when I'm
absolutely.
driving it, people are always surprised to see, like, it's a 4.3, you know. It doesn't have a 5.7, it has a 3.5 drop now.
Okay.
I had to raise it up
Raise
to
it
put
back
my
up.
equipment in there.
Yeah.
But
Is it the extended cab too?
single cab.
Oh, single cab. Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Great trucks. Great
They're
trucks.
reliable.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've crashed this thing like 2-3 times.
Have you?
And it's still like, it's still here. Like, it's
Yeah.
still rolling. So,
That's cool, man. That's cool.
I mean, American steel, I guess, right?
Absolutely. And so your grandfather played a huge role in you getting into vehicles. Anybody else in your family into cars?
Yes. Let me see. So like they're like my step family. They're
Okay.
very close.
Yeah.
They're not blood, but like I grew up with them, like, you know, family friends. But
Absolutely.
they're like family.
Yeah.
So he has a bag truck on intros, 26s, tubbed out, you know, fully done.
Yeah.
You know, and he played a big part, and he helped me, like, he taught me about, you know, drop trucks and how, you know, how they done like flip kids,
Right.
and notches. You know, he taught me all that. I didn't know what that was. You know,
Yeah.
I thought you lower a truck
Yeah.
and you're done. No, there's so
Right.
much behind it. you
Yeah.
know? And then, you know, that just kind of kept evolving, and, you know, it snowballed.
Right.
And now I'm here, you know.
Yeah.
And he always gives me shit, though, because he's always like, how'd you end up with the Camaro? And when you had an S10,
Right.
I taught you about bag trucks.
Yeah.
How do you fall on a Camaro?
Yeah.
But, I mean,
How did that evolve? I mean, you went from a truck to a Genesis
I know.
to the Camaro. So,
So-
you kind of went. I won't say to the dark side, but I mean, if you love Chevys, right? You went to an import and then you went back to a Chevy. So
I mean, did you ever see a Genesis have wrap before?
no, just yours.
See? So that's
Yeah.
why I did that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then, I don't know. It wasn't, 3.8s are fun. They have a 3.8 in them.
Yeah.
But, like, American Muscle V8, it's just, you can't beat it. You just, watch the import guys are going to get so mad. Watch these, like, boosted Hondas are going to be like, I could gap you, though.
Yeah.
Like, but, I don't know, like, the V8, the torque, like, it's just, it sounds
They're
like-
fun.
Yeah.
They are fun. I mean, absolutely. The torque is. I think doing a burnout in a muscle car versus a Honda, it's just two different feelings. I think I think
we're gonna hurt some people's feelings right now.
But listen, we're not. But here's the difference between our conversation. This is just our opinions, right? We're not hating on anybody.
No, them Hondas, I give mad respect to them. Like,
Listen, absolutely.
I've seen some Hondas that
Because I'll drive the truck down the road and they'll gap me. Like, I mean, I got an LS 376 manual, like, so I give mad props to a lot of the people out there who put that kind of time and effort into their car. It doesn't matter what it is,
I mean-
you know. I always joke with my Ford buddies. We have that Chevy Ford rivalry. It's just an ongoing joke and banter back and forth, man. So, but yeah, that'll be fun to see people's comments about
that. Yeah.
the muscle cars versus Hondas and stuff.
I want your opinion because you brought up Chevy and Ford.
Yes.
So I'm a Chevy guy.
Okay.
I have an S10.
Okay.
I have a Camaro. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I love Chevy.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Chevy's line of, like, you know, muscle cars? Well, not just muscle cars, but as in, like, okay, so Ford has, you know, they have the Shelbys, They got, they have the Salines. They have all these different options in
Yep.
Ford.
Yep.
They have the Harley Davidson, they have supercharged, they're all this stuff. Chevy didn't really have much. I mean, we had the Cyclone, the SS, Chevy SS. There wasn't very much. Like, what do you think of like
So,
do you know what I'm asking? Like,
oh, I
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely like. They had the Galloway Camaros, right?
Yes.
I mean, the Corvettes.
Yes.
But I think they made some Camaros. I could be wrong, but they were mostly Corvettes, if I'm not mistaken. So, here's my thought. I think for a long time, a very long time, Chevy was making some great vehicles, like truly great vehicles. I mean, we're going back to like the Camaros, the Chevelles, the Novas, and then you had the G bodies, and I mean, you just had a lot of.
I love them G bodies.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, yeah.
Like
the
they
Regals
just made,
and all that. Yeah. Oh, I miss those cars.
They just made some really great vehicles. Caprices, the Impalas, the SS Impalas from the mid '90s, the SS 454 truck. Yeah, it wasn't anything fast, but it was still cool, right? The Cyclone you mentioned. There were so many great vehicles. And I'm one of the people, like, I am absolutely loyal.
Yeah.
My first car was a Chevelle. Dude, I am absolutely loyal to Chevrolet.
Yeah.
Now, have I flipped some other vehicles and owned some other? Sure, absolutely. But I am absolutely loyal to the brand. I mean, there's a reason why we have a small fleet of Chevys. But Chevy's fucked up. Dude, like, here in the last 4 or 5 years, that is no joke. Like, for them to bring back the Blazer the way they did, that is a disgrace.
Not even a Blazer, though.
That's a disgrace. It's an insult, And then you have Ford bringing back the Bronco. It's like,
but the Bronco looks so cool. Have you seen it?
but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if you want to lose your loyal people, you keep doing the shit that you're doing, and like, okay, the C8 Corvette. I'm not a Corvette guy, me personally. I've never owned one, but I do like the mid-engine.
It's different.
I don't think they should have done them all paddle shifters. I think they should have. I think they should have given them the option to go manual. But I just think Chevrolet, and I mean, they've really gone downhill.
And then they discontinued the Camaro. You know that, right? They're gonna stop making it. I think 2021 is the last year of the Camaro.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, they're gonna stop.
See, another.
That's so stupid though.
It's another poor decision. So you figured they got rid of the SS. They don't plan on using the SS badging anymore after the 2017 SS was the last run, right? They take the Blazer name and they completely disgrace the Blazer name.
It looks like a Traverse.
Traverse, Equinox, whatever you call that thing. Like, how many more four-door crossovers do we really need? Like, I mean, really?
We have a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, come on. So I'm a little frustrated with Chevrolet as far as their new styling here in the last 4 or 5 years. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I've said it to my friends that, have some Fords and stuff, but Ford's going to smoke Chevy if they're not already. I mean, like, with their lineup is just...
Lightning? They just made a Lightning. Like, where's our SS at?
Listen.
We're screwed.
They're every time they turn around, they put something out. I like the Fords.
Oh, no, yeah.
I mean, it's...
I hate to say it.
Me too.
But
me too.
No.
The Mustang's got great styling. I mean, it's just cool.
I mean, they're built well.
The Bronco's amazing. It's really retro from what it used to be. And yes, I realize the one that's out now is not like the one they were advertising. But honestly, some bolt-ons, mods, lifting it up, and they'll eventually come out with the other one. They got to test the waters. But even the one they have now, it's cool.
Looks better than the Blazer.
Amen to that. It sure does. So. But yeah, man, that's a tough one. Just being a diehard loyal Chevy guy.
Like, to see how we're evolving.
To see how Ford is evolving and Chevy's just
kind of
going downhill, in my opinion.
Exactly.
I mean, it's...
I just want to hear from another Chevy enthusiast.
Yeah.
I'm like, am I tripping or no? But like, I mean, you see it though. I mean...
I do, man. I'm trying to think, like, is there anything new right now out that I would buy from Chevrolet? We have Tahoes, right?
The Tahoes are nice.
I look at the new Tahoes.
I don't even like the front ends though of the new Silverados. I don't like the front end.
Yeah, neither do I.
I like the 18 style.
Yep, I'm with you on that.
Not 2021.
Yep, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I think the new Silverado has a lot missing from it.
It's like it missed out on leg day.
It's almost it's like a crossbreed. So I'm part of like Chevy Legends. I don't know. You can sign up to be part of the Chevy Legends or whatever. And it's just a bunch of Chevy lovers get together and they will send you stuff in the mail. Absolutely no charge. There's no subscription or anything. But they also get your opinion. Okay. And so when something new's coming out, they'll send you an email and say, hey, what's your opinion of this? And man, they sent me a new, like, of the Chevy lineup, the Silverado lineup. And I was just blunt and honest. I said, I'm sorry, but this looks like a Dodge Ram, a Tacoma. Like it was a crossbreed between three different vehicles. Yeah. Aww. And it was just...
I mean, those vehicles are good too, but like Chevy needs to do its own.
Well, I guess for me, when they presented the Silverado in the pictures, it was more like a truck to me is supposed to look tough,
beefy, yeah,
right?
Like,
tough.
Yeah, like
I'm like, and nothing against the import trucks, but I just don't feel like if you look at a Ford truck. And you look at the Silverado, I just feel like Silverado has lost something. And in the import market, like you look at the Tundras.
Those Tundras look mean.
Some of them, and I guess it depends on what model, I felt like the Silverado just had more of an import vibe to it.
It did.
You know?
Oh, it did, yeah. Exactly.
The placement in the mirrors, strange to have them on the doors. I think that was probably one of the biggest complaints.
Yeah.
Was having the mirrors on the doors. And what's the purpose of that? I have no idea.
Imports do that though, like you said. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So, but I don't know. Yeah, I think we're on the same page. I think Chevy has done a serious nosedive.
Like,
I don't think there's anything great that they're offering. They're loyal customers anyway. And if they're basing their sales on just new customers,
I think that's what they are.
I don't think they're going to survive.
No. I
hate to say that. And anybody who knows me, like, dude, my Instagram name before Mr. Texas Show Promoters was Mr. Chevy Family Man or like Mr. Chevy Silverado. Like everything Chevy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that's just what I love. But yeah. What's your favorite Chevy out right now?
Out right now?
Yeah. Is there one? Can you pick one?
Out right now.
I'd have to say it's the Vet for me, and I'm not even a Vet guy. Mm-hmm. But is there anything else out that Chevy offers that's cooler than the Vet?
I personally do like the ZL1.
Do you? Okay.
I do like the new ZL1.
Yeah.
Like, well, not new. It's like 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think they're like 10 speeds. I could be wrong, but I know they're extremely fast. They're very like you know what I mean, you can get a lot of power out of them.
Yeah.
So I do like those.
That's true. The Camaros are nice. I will say that. Trying to think, is there anything else like Camaros and Corvettes really?
See, yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Like, not even the trucks are like done up. You know what I mean? You know how Ford has the Shelby truck.
Right. Yeah.
Like we don't have nothing. It's just a Silverado with the 5.3 or 6.0 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or 6.2 or something like that. Yeah.
Just never a fan of the Colorado body style.
So is the Colorado supposed to be like the S10 but newer version? That's what I always thought.
I mean, I guess they kind of got rid of the S10 and
put a Colorado.
Went to the Colorado, yeah. But I think the body styling is just, I don't know.
It looks just wimpy.
It does. It does. And I mean, again, I guess if you add the mods, fender flares, and you lift it, you can make anything look aggressive. But I think on the lot, like just from a production standpoint, a manufacturer standpoint, I don't...
They're still small though. So there was a lifted Colorado. He was on 24s.
Yeah.
He was on Forces, American Forces.
Yeah.
And I was in a stock Silverado. When we pulled up beside him, we're same height, but you could tell he was lifted.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that sucks though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when you want to lift, you want to be like higher than everybody. Like he was the same height as a stock Silverado.
That's crazy.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
And Chevy's just taking big L's for me.
I agree, man. I agree.
Watch, this Camaro's gonna start breaking down on me because it's hearing me talk crap about Chevys.
Yeah, but see, that's still one back from this is older one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so back then they were still making cool stuff. We're just talking about the new stuff.
Yeah,
don't get your feelings hurt.
Yeah, you're still cool. I love you.
Yeah. So Miggy, I guess you have a question for me.
Yeah. So, this is the TSP headquarters.
Yes.
And I pulled in. So, like, did you steal all these signs out here or what?
No, actually, the sign thing, it's pretty cool. So it never hurts to ask, right? So there was a Chevron gas station by my office, and you know how gas stations change from like a Shell or a Chevron to some other brand? So I love Chevron. That's my gas, right?
Yeah.
That's what I like. And so the Chevron was switching to a Valero. So I pulled in there while they were taking down all the signs, and I said, hey, can you get me one of these, like, not a big sign, just like one off the tanks or whatever, right? The pumps. And he's like, man, we're not really supposed to. He's like, but come back a little bit later, I'll have one for you. So major companies like that, McDonald's, Chevron, like any corp, they don't want their signs to be sold. They're supposed to be destroyed.
Yeah.
So these sign companies, they send in pictures to their bosses all shattered and stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, come on. You got 20 signs at a gas station. You can let go of a
One,
few.
yeah.
So I ended up making friends with that guy. So every time there's like a closed down gas station or anything that he thinks I might like, automotive stuff. I've had Alfa Romeo. I've had Chevy signs. I've had, we had a huge 9-foot Infinity sign.
Really?
The actual Infinity logo.
Like,
9
from
feet
a dealership
wide.
or something?
Yeah.
Or?
So he'll go, dealerships close down, or they change what manufacturer they're selling. So I mean, I've had some really cool signs. Sometimes I sell them, sometimes I hang on to them. But man, I mean, I went up and asked. We have a relationship now. And then there's another guy as far as the street signs. This is a pretty cool racket. So he has an in at a recycling center, right?
Okay.
So it's mind-boggling to me, but these, I guess it would be NTTA, whoever takes care of the road signs,
Yeah.
right? Maintenance and replacement and putting them up. They literally take whatever signs they don't use, even brand new signs that have never been used, and they'll take them to a recycling center, right? Wow. They're all aluminum.
Yeah.
Out of use, maybe they're damaged, maybe they're brand new, they just not using them.
Yeah.
Well, his buddy calls him and says, hey, I've got all these signs, why don't you come pick them up? He probably pays them something for it, but then he legally turns around and he sells them all.
Yeah.
Right? It's a racket, dude. This guy's
that's easy money.
He's making some good money.
I mean, who doesn't want
good
cool
money.
signs?
So, yeah, that's how I acquired all the signs. I mean, they're all legal. Never stole a single sign. That's a good question.
I was
Yeah.
like, when I came in, I was like, man, I could just imagine you with like a ratchet and a wrench
absolutely.
behind a sign, like.
Midnight runs, baby. Midnight runs. You never know.
Because I've done that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I'm like, he stole a lot of signs.
There's a lot of signs out there.
He didn't steal them. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
None stolen. I don't have receipts for any of them, but don't worry about that. So as far as the last few questions I have for you, so, and you kind of just answered it too earlier, and maybe there's others, but as far as like celebrities or influencers out there, is there anybody in the car scene that you really like?
I really like.
Yeah. You like following, watching, seeing what they're about?
So I watch, because I love watching YouTubers. I love seeing like car people like us.
Okay.
And they blow up.
Yeah.
So there's two big guys that I've always watched, and I actually got to meet one at I think Slammed Enough.
Okay.
Forgot what show I met him at. Anyways, TJ Hunt and Dustin Williams. They're both located in Cali.
Okay.
And they were regular car guys like us,
Yeah.
just building their cars in their garage.
Yeah.
Well, they do YouTube and people watch it, and and like people like their content,
Yeah.
like I did.
Yeah.
Well, they blew up. So this guy, TJ Hunt, he's a big like role model to me.
Yeah.
He had a BRZ. He had like a Beamer as well. Well, now, he blew up. He made his own company.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sponsored by YouTube and all that. Or I don't want to say sponsored, but, YouTube helps him and all that.
Yeah.
He has Ferraris, Lambos.
Oh, really?
Everything. And I mean, like, it's cool to see a car guy, who started like us.
Yeah.
Who made it.
Right.
And, like, I think that's a big car guy dream.
Yeah.
Like, I think all of us would love that. I mean, he has a huge garage, tons of friends. He meets tons of famous people all over the world. He travels. Like, I mean, what car guy wouldn't want that? You know what I mean? Like it's a cool,
That
it's
is
a cool
true.
thing to see. Like one day I hope I meet him.
Yeah.
But he never comes up to Dallas. He stays in Cali, which is
Gotcha.
understandable. I
Yeah.
mean, Cali's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's TJ Hunt and Dustin Williams are really big to me.
Very cool, man. I hadn't heard of either of those, but I will say for me, between family, TSP, the real estate, working so hard, and just so much behind the scenes, I feel like I don't have a lot of time to follow a bunch of people and watch.
It's hard.
It is very, very difficult.
You don't have time for that. You have your time for your own stuff.
Very difficult.
And like, at the end of the day, you kind of just want to chill out.
Yeah.
It's hard to follow up. No,
absolutely.
I understand that.
You need a little bit of time to relax. All right, so my last and final question. So, since you've customized some vehicles, what is your best advice for somebody getting their first car? How do they go about it? You know, what advice do you have for somebody getting their first vehicle and wanting to become like a car enthusiast, get into the scene?
Okay. Well, don't listen to anybody. Like, your car is your car.
Yeah.
That's your build. If you want to, modify a Dodge Dart, modify a Dodge Dart. Like, don't listen to no haters or nothing. That's the number one rule. It's your car. They're not paying for it. You're paying for it. That's the number one rule. But if you want to do something like start modding it, I would say, like, my personal opinion would be do the most expensive mod first. Because that would be the most, like, you get that out of the way, and it's like, you're going to be proud of it. You know what I mean? Like, bags is one of the most expensive mods on this car.
Yeah.
That was one of my first mods I did, like I said. And, like, I don't regret it. You know what I mean? I'm happy, like, and it was worth it. You know what I mean? But, some people don't have that budget. So, like, like I always say, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right.
So just do, just build it in time.
Yeah.
Like, car scene ain't going nowhere.
That's smart advice. You're the first person that I think we've talked to that said do the most expensive thing first, which actually makes sense because it's probably going to have the most impact on the car visually, performance-wise, whatever the case may be.
I mean, some people can't. I mean, that's understandable. Everybody's, like, money-wise, circumstances are different. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, do what you can. You know what I mean? Like I said, like cars are, the detail is what makes a car. You know
I agree.
You can buy bags, you can buy wheels.
I agree. Yeah.
But like you said, like the green accents on the car, it made it stand out. Those are little cheap
absolutely.
mods, but those are what stand out.
Yep.
That's what really makes a car build to me, is detail.
And I'm 100% in agreement. Don't listen to the haters because it doesn't matter what you build, what you have, what it looks like. There's always going to be haters. It does not matter, and you're not building it for anybody else but yourself. So exactly. I agree.
That's the biggest thing I say. Is like, it's your car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be the cleanest Dodge Dart out there. Or, I mean, whatever,
Yeah. Well, Migi, it was a pleasure having you on. Thanks for making it out, and it's been fun, man. It's been a blast. Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Hope you've enjoyed our podcast. If you like to watch the video version and see the details of Migi's Camaro, make sure to check us out on YouTube, Texas Show Promoters. Join our other 80,000 supporters and follow, subscribe, or like Texas Show Promoters on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or TikTok. Also, if you have a custom vehicle, live in the DFW area, and would like to share your story, please let us know. We'd love to hear it. Peace.